resources and lack of facilities for learners with special needs under the spotlight in the Nelson Mandela Bay Education Summit in Port Elizabeth in the Eastern Cape Province. Religious leaders, non-governmental organizations, politicians, as well as pupils will be part of the deliberations taking place at Nangoza Jebe Community Hall in New Brighton Township. The academic year did not get off to a good start in the northern areas of Port Elizabeth as parents closed some 52 schools and also kept their children at home due to a shortage of teachers and other problems in the area. However, they have since decided to let children go back to classes while they are engaging with the authorities. The provincial department has also announced the appointment of 98 teachers and also set up a task team to tackle the problems. And for more on this, we are now crossing live to our reporter, Zolani Moya, who is standing by. Zolani, thank you so much for joining us. Has that summit got off to a good start?
Yes, a very good afternoon. Yes, we are live indeed here in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. Early this year, we saw angry parents, went on a rampage, blocking learners from attending schools due to shortage of staff. But with me here, I have one of the senior officers within the Department of Education, Mr. Sango, just briefly tell us, are you guys still confident that we can still bring stability within education, particularly here in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro?
Yes, indeed. We are confident in that we have made some strides, interventions, very strategic interventions that are meant to address the issue of shortage of not only teachers in our schools, but also support staff, working with other government departments, in some cases through the extended public works program. We are indeed confident.
Mr. Shangu, obviously you guys are talking about this 70% that you can still increase this number, this pass rate. Can that still be possible?
It is possible, because we have set, as the department, and made a diagnosis, per district as to what must have been the contributing factors in terms of the level of results that we obtained this year. And last week, for about 4 days, we were here in the metro with all the provincial curriculum specialists and advisors. And the intention was to enhance our support to schools and develop a plan which would be a common agenda across the province.
Particularly in the northern areas, what are you guys going to do in order to sort out the issue of shortage of teachers?
The top management of the department 4 weeks ago was here for 3 days, and the intention was for the department to actually expedite the process of appointing teachers, in this district. That's the metro. And our plan was therefore that the bottlenecks, be dealt with on the ground so that teachers assume duties immediately. The approval has been sought from the head of department. And that was our major, achievement, that we're able to populate our schools with all required teachers in terms of what is substantive and vacant.
Tell me, what was discussed inside that summit?
In the summit, which is very, very profound, is the diagnosis that the stakeholders, led by the ministers of religion, as their initiative, are beginning to deal with issues affecting, education generally in the district. Issues of what is the role of the parent in our education system? What is the role of the school governing bodies? What is the role of teachers and teachers organizations? And what is the role of the department, as well as the community at large, in particular in this district?
Reverend Mawuza, obviously you as a religious leader played a very instrumental role in terms of organizing this summit inside, but it's poorly attended. Aren't you guys a bit concerned about that?
Yes, we are concerned about the attendance. However, as you would know, it's a Saturday this morning and people are busy with their business of the day. However, we did send out information and invitation by and large in the metro. But the number that we are having here is not bad at all, because even the contributions that we are listening at there inside are very fulfilling. And it seems as if people are really taking the matter of education very seriously.
What will be now the way forward from now on?
We shall have these consultations going forward, because as a church we were eager to do a contribution, to make a considerable contribution to all the schools in the metro, to bring them together, to sort issues amicably and find solutions collectively, because we cannot each day in and out. We are faced with situations of strikes, of burning of tires, and therefore we need a collective bargaining. We need to have agreements. We need, in this summit, finally, we will plan our way forward insofar as to say, how often do we meet? How do we mitigate problems so that we don't experience the same problems over and over again?
How is the atmosphere like, particularly towards SATU members and other officials?
They are very, very, very positive. They are contributing very well. They are challenging their department, and we as the church and the community at large, the parent components, are very inspired by their contribution at this summit. And the presentation that they gave at the summit was powerful indeed.
Well, those were the two officials basically telling us about the strategies they are going to craft in order to bring back stability within the education structure here in the Nelson Mandela Bay. Well, that is what I have here for now in Port Elizabeth. Back to you in Auckland Park.
Well, many thanks to Zolani Moya there for that interview, which concludes this hour's edition of PM News. I will be back with more news at exactly 1500 hours Central African time. Until then,